Hey guys, it's Carl Brown from guitarlessons365.com. Today we're going to learn how to play Rebel Yell by Billy Idol with Steve Stevens playing guitar. So this one's got a lot of fun stuff, some tricky stuff in it as well. So I'm going to kind of break it down, as the parts arise. We're even going to do the solo, minus the ray gun toy effect. So anyway, so let's take a look here. We're in standard tuning, and we're going to start with this, which was, I believe, probably an overdub on the album at least, where we have one good, another, what's that? Or here. When Steve Stevens plays it live, he puts them both together with hybrid picking. Actually, I think he actually does straight finger picking, actually. Now, when I play this live, I used hybrid picking, which would basically mean playing the bottom note with the pick while you're having your pinky across the 10th fret on the B and the G, and B and the high E string, and you're playing with your middle and your ring finger up top. And then picking the notes underneath. So you got it. Now the way Steve Stevens does it, he puts his pick probably between his index and his middle finger, and he uses those two fingers together to pick this, and just uses his thumb for the low. 7, then on the low E, 9 on the A, and 7, 9 on the D. And then it allows them to grab the pick quickly. Usually when I do stuff like that, I like to hide the pick here between that little joint there, but it makes it awkward when you're doing the picking. So really kind of find a place to hold the pick. Even maybe hold it with your third finger, your ring finger, and then shift over to start playing. All right, then we kick into the distortion here, and we have this. Now, I have watched a billion videos of him playing this from way back in the day to what he's playing it now. He'll do it slightly different every time, but he does kind of have a way he consistently does some of the parts. Actually played a little bit differently than I originally thought he did. So anyway, we're going to play them like that. We're going to play them the way he does it. So we're going to start here. That's the 3rd fret on the, you might hit the power chord twice at the 3rd fret on the low E to start. Then you're just chugging downstrokes on the 3rd fret of low E. And then the 5th fret there on the A string with some kind of pinch harmonic. Then the 2nd fret here on the low E. Then jump up and grab the power chord here at the 7th fret on the A, 9th fret on the D. I thought he might have grabbed it here, but he actually goes all the way back up here. And then back to the low E string. Back to the 5th fret there on the A string. Back to the power chord. So all together we have this. And then I originally thought he did this, but he actually does them here. And sometimes he'll do them down here, but for the most part you see him mostly play like this. Touch the power chord off the 5th fret of the A, then the 5th fret of the low E, and then up to the 7th fret there, power chord. All right, and now we have the verse, which I've seen him recently play it. He actually plays it without the same notes as the album version, but we're going to do the notes the way it's actually heard on the album version here. So there's only one way to do that, which sounds like this. into the chorus there. All right, so he'll actually do it. He's thinning out the chords when I see him playing it recently, but we're gonna do it like he did way back when this was originally recorded. So we have this. So that's this 9th fret on the D, then 7th fret on the G and the B together. And then you just rotate between doing the downstrokes, muted downstrokes on the 9th fret on the D, and hitting that dyad. So you're really making everything sound really staccato while doing that. And then it's basically about keeping those same top two notes going while you just change the bass note. So that's now the 7th fret across the B, G, and the D. Then to the 5th fret down on the D, where the 7's still there. And then we have this 5th fret there on the A string twice, muted, then the open A, then back. Good. Then back to those same power chords to start the chorus. Now the chorus here could sound great down here. Which I've seen him play live, but most of the time he does it like this. All right, so he's moving it all over the place. So we're gonna start going into that. This first power chord, we're gonna do the B minor chord. And then he'll come up off of that, just the 9th fret across the A and the D, and then the 11th fret on the G. And then we have this. The hammer 0 to 2 on the A, and then back to the open A, and then he comes all the way back up. So he has this. Back to the A, and then play the power chord there, the B power chord, off the 2nd fret of the A string. And then back and grab that extension chord as well. So we have this. Then all the way back to the little hammer-on thing again. Back to the open A string then, which is now a D power chord with A in the added in the bass. So we have this, it's 5th fret across the A and the D, across the low E string and the A string, so the notes A and D. And then the octave of that, 7th fret across the D and the G. Play that, and then that hammer on, open A again, and then we're to this G power chord, which is the 5th fret of the D, 7th of the G, 8 of the B, and then he moves that 7 down, that 8th fret down to 7 on the B. So just initially when he hits it, it's at the 8th fret, then you start over, all right? And then there we have kind of like not a bar dive, it's really kind of raised up at the bar, where you just kill the strings, just really bring the bar way down, and then pick the 5th fret harmonic of the B string, and then let it raise up to normal. So wait. All right, and that will totally throw your guitar out of tune most likely, so you might want to retune, and then start over. All right, so we go back through the verse and the chorus again, and then we get to the bridge section, which sounds like this. So it just does that a little while, ending the same with All right, so it's just really similar to the verse, the intro of the song. So it's just that part just repeated again and again, and then with that ending. And when you do this, you go back to that little hybrid picking part or finger picking part, however you want to play it, going into the solo. So let me play the solo for you real quick. We're going to start actually with a big bend. That's kind of overdubbed before the actual solo starts, and then the real solo sounds like this. Alright, so obviously wherever that ray gun effect happened, I just kind of did up and down strokes. So let's just talk about this solo real quick. We're going to start with just that blues lick. So it's just bending at the 9th fret on the G and then playing the 7s across the B and the high E together. And then a bend at the 7th fret there, it's a step and a half bend on the low E string. Now then from here, you're going to hammer 4 to 5 on the A string, then 7, slide to 9 on the A, then 7, 9, 7 on the D. Then we're going to set up this next kind of repeated lick. The first notes going into it are a little bit different though. This one goes 9, 8, 7. That's just 9, 8, 7, then over to 7 on the G, and then the whole step into the 8th fret on the B. So coming out of that, from there we just repeat 2 more times, but this time we're going to start with 7, 8 on the D. Kind of just a little half step hammer on, 7 on the G, and then 8th fret bend. And then we have this 7, 9, 7, 9 on the G. With that kind of harmonic there on the last one. And then we have this little ray gun, toy ray gun effect that they use. So either you have a sample of that or you just kind of do your own thing. Whatever you want to do. Alright, and then we get some real guitar going again. Alright, so from what's going on there, we have just kind of like a gallop, 5, 6, 7 on the low E string. I'm trying to lay off. So we have, you do it 5, 6, 7 3 times. Then a bend at the 5th fret on the A string, then back to the 7 on the low E string. Do the same thing in octafier, which is just starting at the 7th fret on the D string. And then, here you're just going to do 10, 11, 12 on the B. And then do a whole step and a half bend of the 12th fret. And then he does some kind of hammer on between 10 and 12. While he's just kind of sliding up and down the B string with his tapping. It's kind of a random thing. It's not really kind of set in stone where you're going to tap at. Alright, from there we have this. So that's start with the double stops and 7th fret on the B and the G high E together. And then so that is just bend and release to the 9th fret on the G, down to 7, 4 times. and then slide to the 16 on the D, over to the 16 on the G, whole step bend at the 17th fret there on the B. And more. Alright, now from there, if you want, for extra credit, we can do the little keyboard solo whenever everything breaks down. It's kind of fun to do that. Bring the guitar down a little bit. Put the delays back on. And we have this. Alright, so we're going to start. It's kind of a repeated thing, so it's pretty quick here. He just starts with the last half of it first. 17, 14 on the high E string. Then 15, 17, 15 on the B. 14, 16 on the G. Just let that ring out. And then he starts the main melody, which is really this. So it's really nice with that neck pickup. So we just have this 16 on the G, 14 on the high E string, 17 on the B, 17 on the high E. So we have this. Again. And this time when you get to the 17, you just do that second half, that lick we already did. And when you get to that, the 16 on the G, you start over. And then the end, and you get to that 17 to 19, and then 22, and then just kind of do the bar dive, and you're back to the chorus. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for guitarlessons365.com.